NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
And welcome back to the NFL Today. Right now, the Patriots and the Browns are getting set for their matchup. And as we approach kickoff, let's send you out live to Cleveland with our announcers, Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, Jamie Erdahl, and Jay Feely.
Thank you, JB. This is First Energy Stadium, the home of the Cleveland Browns, who today host the New England Patriots, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. With a highly publicized suspension now in his rearview mirror, Pats quarterback Tom Brady returns to action. Patriots fans weren't sure what to expect without their star quarterback to start the season, but New England finished the first quarter of the schedule at 3-1, a mark which has them atop the AFC East. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cleveland. Greg Gumbel along with Trent Green, Jamie Erdahl, and Jay Feely will be joining us on the sidelines today. You know the whole Patriots saga and drama by now. Brady to Brissett and back again, you bet. Brady suspended for the first 4 games as a result of the deflate gate. Meanwhile, Garoppolo came on, Brissett came on, and now we are back to Tom Brady looking for career win number 173. What do you expect from him today?
Well, I think he's going to be a little bit nervous. He's played in a lot of big games, but when you come into a situation where you've never been before, this is going to be tough. That's what he told us yesterday. He said, Trent, I don't know how I'm going to handle this because I've never gone through it. Well, the things you have to look for are the little things, and what Tom is really good at doing is understanding what defenses do and how he can manipulate them with his eyes. Here he gets the Kansas City Chiefs to flow over to the left, creating a lane in the middle of the field. Here he knows where the blitz and the pressure is coming from. He slides in the pocket, and with his quick release, that helps the offensive linemen. So just an overall understanding is what's good for Tom in this offense. And additionally, he gets back a healthy Rob Gronkowski. After missing the first couple of games because of a hamstring injury, he's now at full health and will be utilized in the middle of the field.
Both these teams have had the coaching of the quarterback carousel going, 6 different quarterbacks between them. You know about the Patriots. How about the Cleveland Browns? Injuries have now forced Cody Kessler into a starting role.
Yeah, the 3rd round pick out of USC gets thrown in. That's his 3rd start of the season. He's done a very good job of protecting the football. You see only 1 interception he has so far in the season. At USC, he threw for over 10,000 yards, 88 touchdowns, and only 19 interceptions. So he knows how to protect the football. That's what the Browns are going to need from him today. When the shot is there to take a big play up the field, go ahead and take it, but also make sure you protect it.
Now, on the plus side for the Browns, having lost wide receivers Josh Gordon to rehab and Corey Coleman to injury, Terrell Pryor has stepped up.
Well, it's amazing how he's been able to transition from quarterback to a wide receiver. He presents a big body, big 6'4", 223-pound receiver, has a big advantage over the Patriots corners today. Both of them only at 5'11". So when you get around the red zone, when you need a big play, he is the guy that can do it. And if you need him in the backfield, he still remembers how to play quarterback as well.
All right, time for Home Depot tools for success for this week number 5 in the NFL season.
Well, it's important to remember the defensive side of the ball for both of these teams as well. For the Patriots, defensive end Chris Long, after 8 years with the St. Louis Rams, has fit in nicely into New England's scheme. They utilize him in a number of different ways. For the Browns, Isaiah Crowell, the 2nd leading rusher in the National Football League, but 1st in the NFL in yards per carry. Additionally, for the Browns, Demario Davis knows the Patriots well after being with the Jets the last 4 years. He's a sideline-to-sideline linebacker that utilizes his speed very well. And for the Patriots, the other tight end, Martellus Bennett, all he's doing is leading these Patriots in receiving yards with 247 yards.
The Cleveland Browns looking for their first win of 2016. What a coincidence. So is that man, Tom Brady. Warm reception for him here in enemy territory in Cleveland. More from Cleveland, Ohio, here on CBS after this message and a word from your local station. Welcome to Cleveland, where everybody is anxious to see how Patriots quarterback Tom Brady will look in his season debut today against the Browns. The four-time Super Bowl champion is just minutes away from starting his 17th NFL season. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Our kickoff is next. Welcome back to Cleveland, everyone. There's Bill Belichick in his 17th year as the Patriots head coach. On the other side of the field, Hue Jackson, season number 1 here in Cleveland. On this beautiful sunshiny day, we send it down to sunshiny Jamie Erdahl. Jamie.
Greg, thank you. We may have an idea of what Tom Brady has been up to these last 4 weeks, but something he told me last night in our meetings that he wasn't going to do was sit around and feel sorry for himself. He said upon his return to practice this week, he did have that overwhelming feeling of, this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is where I'm meant to be. He said offensively, things got a little better each day in hopes that today is just a little bit better than Friday. Flying under the radar of Brady's return is, of course, defensive end Rob Ninkovich returning also from a 4-game suspension.
Jamie, thank you. The Patriots have won the toss and have deferred, which means Cleveland will get its hands on the football first. Steven Gostkowski ready to kick it away. George Atkinson and Tracy Howard are deep for the Cleveland Browns, who are hungry, Trent, for a win. Hungry.
Well, and they've been in so many ball games. You look at 3 of their 4 games, they've had a lead in the second half and haven't been able to finish it off. So that's what they've all talked about, players and coaches, this entire week, is finishing football games.
But Bill Belichick said, we have no right to be cocky about this. This team has had the lead in the third quarter of 3 of their games. This one's short. And from the 10-yard line, Tracy Howard. And Howard just across the 25 before he is brought down. And for the Browns, rookie quarterback Cody Kessler makes his 3rd start, 467 yards throwing with a touchdown and a pick, and he's had to come along a lot sooner than originally planned.
Well, it's anytime a rookie has to be thrown in there right away, you always worry about how expansive can the game plan be, and he's handled it all very well. They continue to add more and more 54. Every week.
Isaiah Crowell with him in the backfield. And Crowell out to about the 30-yard line, where he's met by Malcolm Brown. On the offensive line, left tackle Joe Thomas, as rock solid as they come, making his 149th straight start since being drafted 3rd overall out of Wisconsin, improving himself every week, as we're talking about one of the best running backs in the league, Isaiah Crowell, undrafted 3 years ago out of Alabama State. This is Crowell again. Out close to the 32. Patriots 4-3 defense. Number 95, Chris Long, his 9th year, his first in New England, playing really well. So's linebacker Jamie Collins, 1 sack on the year and a team-leading 2 interceptions. And New England stocked with young cornerbacks. The oldest is 4th-year corner Logan Ryan. 3rd and 5. Duke Johnson in the backfield excels on 3rd down, catching the ball out of the backfield. Kessler running, throwing, incomplete to the far sideline. Intended for Andrew Hawkins and guarded by Malcolm Butler.
Well, in the first 3rd down of the game, they decide to bring pressure on Cody Kessler, go to man-to-man with press across the board with safety in the middle of the field, and just getting pressure on Cody Kessler, causing him to flush to the right. Dante Hightower is who came free up the middle. Kessler flushing to his right, not able to set his feet.
Julian Edelman back inside his own 20-yard line. For the punt upcoming by Britton Colquitt. Colquitt, wobbler, bounces and takes a Cleveland bounce. Inside the 20-yard line, and it'll be down there. And onto the field comes number 12. Tom Brady's 17th NFL season begins here in Cleveland in Week 5, and that's a new record of tenure with the Patriots. Steve Grogan put in 16 years. Tom's 17th, more delayed than he would have liked.
Well, you can see the response of this crowd. A lot of New England fans here today.
And he's going to throw it on first down and complete his first pass to Edelman. And Edelman out of bounds at about the 30.
Well, it's interesting that he throws the first ball to Edelman, because I said, is there anybody that gave you a hard time coming back in the locker room? I know how locker rooms work. If you're gone for 4 games, you know, you're not just going to come into a quiet locker room. Somebody's going to give you a hard time. He said, you know, because of my age difference, the guy to lean on was Edelman, because Edelman had something to say. And he goes, I think it's just because he wants a lot of passes.
56 to Mike.
Play fake over the middle. Gronkowski complete out to midfield, and another New England first down.
Well, the Browns bring pressure. We wondered how Tom Brady was going to react when he's under pressure and taking a hit. It's not something he's done in a month. This time he had to step into a throw, make an accurate ball up the field to Gronkowski. Nassib hits him right in the midsection, drives him to the ground.
Brady 2 for 2 throwing the ball, 2 first downs. Now from the Patriot 49. Blunt. Lots of room up the middle. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
And that's the thing with all the rotation going on at quarterback with the New England Patriots. LeGarrette Blount has all of a sudden become the centerpiece. 3rd in the National Football League in rushing. This time not getting touched until he's a good 10 yards downfield.
This Patriot ground game averaging 135.5 yards rushing per game.
Lion. Hey, Lion.
Quick pass, far side. That's complete. Martellus Bennett. The New England offensive line has rookie Joe Tooney at right guard. Shaq Mason in his second year is the left guard. And Brady has talented receivers and that number 3 ground game in the NFL thanks to the 7th-year running back LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah, I got you.
James White comes onto the field now for the Patriots. That's off the hands of White out of the backfield. And that's incomplete. On the Browns front 3, 2nd-year nose tackle Danny Shelton, a real force for the Cleveland defense. Among the linebackers, Christian Kirksey teams with Demario Davis for a formidable duo on the inside with rookies on the outside. And at cornerback, 2-time Pro Bowler Joe Hayden with a couple of interceptions already this season. 3rd and 8. Brady over the middle, crossing pattern, complete to Gronkowski. Gronkowski inside the 20, the 15, the 10, and bounced down and out of bounds inside the 5 to about the 2.
Gronkowski is isolated to the left side for Tom Brady. He just works underneath. The 3 receivers to the right get upfield. He's just running a drag route underneath. He's able to get through that initial leg tackle. Looks like his hamstring's feeling fine on that play.
About to ask you how that hamstring is looking for Gronk. 1st and goal. Blunt, left side, and stacked up. Looks to be at about the 1.5-yard line.
Somebody's down for the Patriots.
And that's Bennett. So they'll take a look at Martellus Bennett, and we'll take a break with 10:38 to play in the first quarter, and the Patriots knocking at the door.
Number 68 is report is an eligible receiver.
Martellus Bennett just jogged off the field into the New England bench. This is what happened to him, Trent.
You see, just rolls up right on that right ankle. Fortunately for him, he's able to get that leg up off the ground and not have the full body weight on it, but it was just enough to torque that ankle.
Blunt and Devlin in the backfield. This is Blunt, left side, touchdown New England. from a yard out. Blunt, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season.
This play's supposed to go off left tackle, but you see the line, everything collapses. Gronkowski does a nice job sealing the edge of the outside. Blunt just recognizes the block and bounces it and gets to the edge.
Eighth play to go 80 yards. Gostowski with the extra point attempt. And it is good. Just under 10 and a half to play in the first quarter. Tom Brady and the Patriots up by a touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by the new 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep free to be.
The inappropriately named Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here in Cleveland. Stop laughing.
You're a big rock and roll fan.
I know. Wait, no Todd Rundgren?
I know.
No Joe Cocker?
I'm not trying to get you off on that. I know that.
Don't get me started.
Gets you started. That's right.
George Atkinson will not run it out of the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Browns will go back to work on offense from their own 25-yard line.
Well, and Cleveland needs to get something started. We talk about getting something started, and take a look at Cody Kessler here, 3 and out on that first series. He's very accurate quarterback, 67% completion. Good decision maker, doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Shown a good, not a great arm, doesn't throw the ball down the field a lot. Talked to Terrell Pryor. He said that's what's going to have to happen today to loosen defenses up. We need to take the top off of the defense. In other words, throw the ball down the field, and that'll help create more lanes underneath. The first series, they ran the ball on first and second down and had pressure on third down, had to get rid of the ball quickly. Here, they need to get something going.
Let's go. Ready.
From the 25, Kessler to throw. Running out of time, far side, and that's complete. And across the 40 and out of bounds is Andrew Hawkins.
They had a play action pass here. Kessler is going to set up over the center, and he's looking back for Terrell Pryor on a deep post. The problem is the Patriots put a safety over the top, so they double teamed high and low on Terrell Pryor, forcing Kessler to move to his right. Found an open receiver for a first down.
So the ball now at the Cleveland 41. Crowell and Duke Johnson onto the field, and Kessler spreads everybody. Quick pass, and that's complete. Across the 45 to the 47 to the tight end, Gary Barnidge. A reminder for you with NFL Game Pass, watch the games you missed with condensed games in 45 minutes or the full broadcast version. Start a free trial today at NFL.com/Game Pass. Rob Ninkovich making that last stop, as Jamie said at the start of our game. He's kind of flying under the radar with the return of Tom Brady, but Ninkovich making his first appearance of the year after serving a 4-game suspension for a violation of the performance-enhancing drug policy. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Crowell trying to turn the corner, diving forward, and we get a flag being thrown from the secondary. Dante Hightower making the stop. Our referee today is Bill Vinovich.
Holding. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Malcolm Brown, the defensive tackle, guilty of the hold.
Usually what you're doing as a defensive lineman is you're trying to prevent the guards from getting up on the linebackers in the run game. So when you see that holding in the interior part of the line, it has to do with the defensive lineman not allowing those linemen to get to that second level.
So first down for the Browns at the New England 47, and Kessler, straight drop. Will pop over the middle and right through the hands of Crowell. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And that's one of the things, Greg, that Kessler has done so well so far this season is he looks upfield, he wants the big play, but then he gets to the check down. This time comes in a little hot, and that's a play, though, that Isaiah Crowell should make. But that's where the coaches have been very complimentary about Kessler. He's not forcing things downfield. He looks up the field, and then he gets down low. As you see Kessler head to the sidelines.
And that means Terrell Pryor, the quarterback at Ohio State. And he's going to hand it off to Crowell, and Crowell inside the 45 to about the 43.
In talking with Bill Belichick yesterday, he was talking about the different things that Cleveland does offensively. They use a lot of personnel groups. They change a lot of formations. We already saw one play, the play previous to this, where they had the 3 linemen inside. They had the tackles expanded to the outside. Then they did a big shift and moved everybody in. Said a lot of that is just to cause confusion with the defense and cause you to prepare for a bunch of different things.
New England has not been good defensively on 3rd down this season. 30th in the league in that department. Kessler got rid of it. That's complete. That'll be a first down. Crowell with first down yardage and more. All the way to the 25-yard line.
Excellent job of protection from the Browns. You're going to see Crowell in the backfield. They're looking for anybody to block, but then all of a sudden he gets out in space. He's lined up on defensive end. Chris Long there has the task of trying to cover him out of the backfield. That's a matchup. If the Browns can keep protection as long as they were able to do there, that's a matchup the Browns will take all day if they can.
Browns on first down. Crowell. We've talked about this before, Trent, but you wonder how a talented back like Isaiah Crowell, and he is talented, how a guy like that goes undrafted. And it's not just him. There are a bunch of guys every once in a while that all of a sudden you go, well, what happened to him?
Right.
What happened to the process?
Yeah, it's a broken process. It's not exactly perfect. I mean, we've been talking about for years with Tom Brady how he falls in the draft as far as he did, and it happens with running backs as well. Isaiah Crowell is a fine example.
Kessler on 2nd and 6, on the move, and had to throw it away. Being chased by Jamal Sheard. Let's go down to Jamie.
Greg, we saw Martellus Bennett at the end of that last drive for the Patriots go down with what looked to be a pretty painful right ankle injury. He got both ankles taped up. He's questionable to return, but right now he is getting his shoes and socks back on, probably to try to see if he can go. Greg?
All right, Jamie, thank you. 3rd and 6 now for the Cleveland Browns at the New England 21.
4 down. Inside 91.
Kessler, sideline, that's complete. And we get a penalty marker down. Terrell Pryor with the reception. Let's check the flag.
Holding. Defense number 54. Penalty decline. Result of the play. First down.
That's Dante Hightower guilty of the hold.
Guilty of the hold underneath, but Terrell Pryor on the outside one-on-one of Malcolm Butler, and down towards the red zone. You see the cushion that Butler gives. He knows he's got a size disadvantage. Doesn't want to give up the deep ball when he has no safety help over the top. Easy comeback throw, nice placement of that pass by Kessler.
Look at defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. First down, Cleveland at the 11. Kessler looking to this side, end zone, touchdown! Andrew Hawkins with the 11-yard reception.
Well, what leads to this touchdown is Terrell Pryor is up here at the top of the screen. The Patriots give safety help over the top. So what you got here is Hawkins in the slot just running a corner route with no help over the top. So as a New England defender, you've got the entire end zone you've got to cover because you have no help over the top. Hawkins stems it up in there, gives a quick nod to the inside. Easy catch and pass.
From Hue Jackson's point of view, that is a welcome answer to the Patriot drive. Extra point is good. 6:09 to play in the first. Brady leads a touchdown drive. Cody Kessler brings the Browns back. We're tied at 7, and we're back to Cleveland right after this. This is the NFL on CBS. Andrew Hawkins, his first touchdown of the season. 11-yard catch from Kessler as the Browns complete a 9-play, 75-yard drive to tie the game at 7. As we mentioned earlier, this is a Cleveland team that's taken a real hit at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, the loss of Coleman was a big loss for him.
Into the end zone, and Matthew Slater will not bring it out. Brady and company will start from the 25. We go down once again to Jay Feely.
Well, Greg, it was family and football for Tom Brady in his 4-week absence. He spent a lot of time with his parents, but he worked out. He had his personal trainer with him 4 hours every day. They were on the field throwing in pads with contact. He had a former Dartmouth receiver running routes with him. He wanted to be sharp. He's looked good so far.
All right, Jay, thank you. Martellus Bennett is back onto the field.
I got to ask, though, with contact, yeah, guys out there hitting him? We got to find out from Jay. Were they throwing tennis balls at him, hitting him with blood? I don't think he had anybody out there taking shots at him, but getting bounced around a little bit always helps.
Defense number 21. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Jamar Taylor guilty of the penalty. It'll make it a 1st and 5 for New England.
You know, and that's the thing I tried talking about at the beginning is the preseason was so valuable for, as you see Martellus Bennett back in the game, preseason was so valuable for Tom Brady just because that's when you get some live action.
Brady will pop over the middle. Edelman looking for first down yardage, has it, and moves out to about the 39-yard line. Yeah, you were making a very solid point about the fact that the preseason was very valuable for Tom Brady because he at least got some contact in. He played 52 snaps in the preseason.
Yeah, as a quarterback, you know, you go through the entire offseason, minicamp, training camp, all that. You're not getting hit. Nobody's allowed to touch you. So you get into those preseason games, you're getting bounced around a little bit. It's standing in the pocket, knowing you're going to get hit and still making the throw. We've seen Tom do that several times here today, taking a hit and still delivering an accurate throw.
This is Blunt. And Blunt to about the 42. Yeah, it's a world of difference between guys waving pads at you and holding arms in front of your face.
It's a whole different deal because you know, yeah, for the most part, you think your buddies aren't going to hit you in the legs with the pads, or you know, there's not a whole lot of ramifications from that compared to all of a sudden Danny Shelton is coming through and landing on top of you after you throw. It's a different kind of preparation.
Little Danny, 335-pound Danny. Brady solidifying things at the line. Short drop pass outside and off the hands of Edelman. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Well, and that's what Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator for Cleveland, wants to do. He wants to mix things up. Here, Edelman is in the slot. He's got what appears to be an easy catch, but looking right back into the sun off his fingertips. But Ray Horton, defensive coordinator for the Browns, said we got to mix things up for Tom Brady. We can't give him the same look over and over. Even though he's been out for a month, he's familiar with what defense is doing, can put his team in a good play.
Brady with time. Wide open over the middle is Edelman. And Edelman complete for first down to the 47.
Edelman just working the middle of the field. Just running right up the hash, hooking it up. See Amendola doing a curl route underneath. Making up for that one off his fingertips on the previous play.
There's a quick snap when they give to Blunt. Blunt can't turn the corner. They converge on him. Forward progress will be about the 45. Your keys, Trent?
Well, for New England, it's stopping the run. As we've said a couple times, Isaiah Crowell and the Browns offense is first in the league in rushing. Eliminate the miscues last week against Buffalo. Drop passes, costly penalties, turnovers. They've got to eliminate that. For Cleveland, red zone efficiency, they can't settle for field goals. They have to get touchdowns in time of possession. Keep the ball away from New England as much as they can.
On 2nd and 9, little pop to James White. White outside, has a first down. Down the sideline, inside the 15, to the 10. Finally brought down by Joe Hayden. They'll mark it just inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
Just your screen set up, you get the inside pressure coming. You're able to get to the outside. That one block knocks down 2 defenders, knocks down 3 defenders, allowing White to get up the sideline. Edelman is the one that had the crackback block that ended up causing a pile of defenders.
Blunt for a couple to the 7.
Brady so far on the day has been very accurate. 7 of 9 for 122 yards. Most of his throws have been within that under 15-yard range. Really hasn't taken too many throws down the field. You see a lot of drag routes, crossing routes, outside routes. That last one was a screen play. Edelman over the middle, Gronkowski over the middle. So everything's getting the ball out of his hands quickly.
319.
Brady looking, throws outside, and walking into the end zone is Martellus Bennett for the touchdown. Tom Brady's first touchdown pass of the season.
Brady off the play action pass. Trying to look upfield into the end zone. Bennett just on the edge. Sets first to block and then a late release. Brady hitting the check down, obviously for the walk-in touchdown play.
Gostkowski. And the kick is perfect. 2:06 to play in the first. Martellus Bennett wide open. 14-7 Patriots.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
No lack of scoring here in Cleveland in the first quarter. 3 times teams have combined to make it into the end zone. The Patriots go 75 yards in 8 plays to grab the 1 touchdown lead. And Brady 4 of 5 on that drive. And 8 out of 10 on the day so far for 129 yards and a touchdown. This is returnable from the 1. It's Howard. Howard dragged down from behind, short of the 15-yard line by Barkevious Mingo, the ex-Cleveland Brown. Hey, tomorrow on CBS, CYTV Guide calls Scorpion TV's smartest drama. Tomorrow at a new time, 10/9 Central, only CBS. Let's go back to that touchdown, Trent.
We're going to see Hogan over here lined up to the right. He's going to go to the end zone, do a little pause, and then he goes to the outside. You're going to see Bennett. He's going to block the edge, and then he ultimately ends up releasing out into the flat. But it's Hayden that's looking into the backfield. He sees that Bennett is blocking on the edge, so he goes ahead and drifts into the background, worried about that corner route. So as an easy release, a late release by Martellus Bennett, there's nobody out there. Once you see that initial block happen as a defense, you're like, okay, I don't have to worry about him as a receiver, so you drop back to help out in coverage. Good timing, good play, and ultimately a good check down.
So the Browns from their own 12-yard line. This is Duke Johnson. And Johnson going to lose a couple yards. Alan Branch leading the charge from the defensive line, number 97.
Well, and that's what the Browns were able to do last series when they went down and had that touchdown drive, is to stay ahead of the chains. And that just means to get positive yards and to keep things moving. Now with the loss on first down, it kind of gets them out of the rhythm of play calling as what they want to do and how they want to call this against the New England defense.
Kessler under pressure.
That's
a lateral into the end zone and goes out of the end zone. And down on the turf is Cody Kessler. Hightower was the man who came in completely unblocked.
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo is on the Patriots sideline watching that hit, and he feels the pain that Kessler landing on that right shoulder.
2 points for the Patriots, and they'll get the ball back. The quarterback injuries continue to pile up for the Cleveland Browns. Robert Griffin III fractured a bone in his left shoulder week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles. And then backup quarterback Josh McCown broke his collarbone week 2 against the Baltimore Ravens. And we will have to see how Cody Kessler recovers from that hit. But Charlie Whitehurst was just warming up on the sideline.
You have to remember, Whitehurst has only been here for a couple weeks.
Here's the free kick, Julian Edelman. Deep. Edelman from the 27. And he's brought down at about the 36-yard line by Brian Body Calhoun. And there goes Cody Kessler to the locker room.
Probably just going to get x-rays, I would guess, just to confirm, to see what's going on.
Meanwhile, Brady back to work at his own 36. Edelman in motion, Blunt with the ball. Almost squeezed through. He got 4 out to the 40-yard line. Let's go down to Jamie.
Greg, what I saw the Browns working on with Cody Kessler was they were trying to get to his sternum, collarbone area, right under his pads. He kept pressing on that area. What I can assume, though, is that they want to just get back there and maybe take those pads off him to see how he's feeling.
All right, Jamie, thank you. Quick pass to the sideline to Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan, another one of those undrafted guys, Clint.
Well, and he was signed as a free agent this offseason from Buffalo, and trying to bring some more presence at receiving. Amendola and Edelman trying to add more weapons for Tom Brady on the outside.
3rd and 1. Brady not above sneaking for a first down. But this time he'll throw to the outside, and that's complete to Hogan, and Hogan has the first down. A reminder for you, Thursday, your weekend begins right here when the Denver Broncos battle the San Diego Chargers. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. And meanwhile, down on the field, the players wait for time to expire here in the first quarter, which it does. Good first quarter for the New England Patriots. They'll change sides and leading at 16-7. Cleveland for the start of the second quarter. The Patriots with the ball and the lead, 16-7. LeGarrette Blount, the deep back behind Brady. On first down, Blount with the handoff, tries the left side, gets to midfield, and crosses the line. Here's Cleveland owner Jimmy Haslam, determined to get his Browns up there with the Cavaliers and the Cleveland Indians here in town.
There's been some excitement around Cleveland here lately.
Oh, yeah. Brady with time, going deep, has a man open, he's got him inside the 10-yard line. Chris Hogan. It'll be first and goal.
You're going to play action where he rolls out here and sets up. Hogan is working here and comes all the way across the field, crossing the safety space. Good protection for Brady to step up, and he has entire sideline to work with. You can just lead, instead of lead him upfield where the defense can get back into it, lead him to the sidelines, pull it away from the safety, and now you got first and goal.
43-yard pickup on the play from the 7. Blount to the 5. Yeah, oddly enough, the Cleveland Indians with a 2-game lead over the Boston Red Sox.
Well, game 3 is later today after our game here. So a lot of Cleveland and Boston matchups going on here the last few days.
Second and goal from the 5.
Got Gronk one-on-one up here.
Brady to the sideline. Edelman. And the ball came out, but he will be ruled down at the 5-yard line. So it'll be third and goal.
On the initial read there with the initial read is the corner is off, so they have Rob Gronkowski run a slant with Edelman going to the flat. Hayden there able to prevent him from getting in the end zone, or to turn upfield for that matter.
Brady with time, throwing at the goal line, touchdown! Martellus Bennett.
So much attention was placed to Gronkowski, who is lined up to the outside far right. Safety and corner double teaming him, and Martellus Bennett just lined up in your traditional tight end position on the end of the line, running a drag route one-on-one with Mario Davis, and Brady able to thread it in there for another touchdown pass.
Brady's second TD pass of the day. Gostkowski for the extra point. So how's that Brady guy doing today? How about 5 New England drives, or 3 New England drives, 3 touchdowns? Anybody wants to know how Tom Brady's doing today, there you go. 13 out of 15, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Good thing for the Patriots and for Tom Brady is he's been getting into a rhythm. A lot of quick throws, accurate throws underneath, and then when he had the chance to take the shot up the field to Hogan, he was able to complete it.
This one will not be run out of the end zone. The touchback will be run out to the 25-yard line, and the quarterback, we get a little shoving. Nate Ebner is involved. Meanwhile, Charlie Whitehurst as the word from the sideline on Cody Kessler is that he is having his chest and ribs looked at, and his return is questionable. Meanwhile, in his 11th year, Charlie Whitehurst.
Number 66. Number 66 is important as an eligible receiver.
Well, meanwhile, Terrell Pryor is going to take the spot at quarterback right now.
Well, when we had a chance to talk to him, he said every week there's a small number of plays or a package set up for him to play at quarterback.
He's going to keep it. And nowhere to go. They lost the ball. The pileup is at the 25-yard line. And it appears the Browns have it. Well, whatever Hue Jackson had in mind for Terrell Pryor, that wasn't it.
Yeah, he got to the outside, tried cutting it up, kept bouncing into the... Take a look here as he nowhere to go to the outside.
Well, the Patriots had a shot at it too.
They're trying to do the scoop and score. McCourty, it looked like, coming up from the safety. His knee may have already been down.
So Pryor once again spins, looks downfield and throws, and incomplete at the 40, intended for Rashard Higgins. So is Terrell Pryor being in here as opposed to Charlie Whitehurst? What does that tell you for the Browns?
Well, Charlie White on 3rd and long now. Charlie is coming into the game, so it's you know, as I said before we went to commercial, Whitehurst just hasn't been here very long. Now he's running off the field.
The Browns looking really confused right now.
Well, some of it has to do with the helmet as well. You can't have 2 players on the field that can get communication from the sideline. Only one person can have communication from the sideline, so it may be a helmet thing.
Gets the snap off in time. Whitehurst with time and throws to this side, and it's complete across the 30 to the 32-yard line to Gary Barnage, the tight end. And that's a first down.
Well, and you can see they're over on the sideline trying to get Whitehurst to switch out helmets.
Always nice to be able to hear the sideline.
Good accurate throw to the outside, picking up the first down. But as I said before, as the NFL rule, only one person that can be in the huddle can hear the sideline communication, whether it's offense or defense. You can't have 2 players with the speakers in their helmet. So Whitehurst, after that play, had to run to the sideline, switch helmets.
On first down, the pitch is to Crowell. Crowell cut down back at the 30-yard line by Devin McCourty.
Well, Matt Patricia talked about Crowell and his running style. The defensive coordinator for New England said you don't want to let him get going downhill. They like a lot of downhill runs in between the tackles. If we can stretch him out, let our guys get into the backfield and try and cut him down like they did right there, that worked perfectly for what they were trying to get done.
52.
Loss of 6, 2nd and 16. Whitehurst going to hand it to Crowell, and Crowell for a couple. Remind you, coming up, the Verizon halftime report. JB and the guys back in New York with scores and highlights and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network, all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. You know, we talk about guys playing with a chip on their shoulders. That's the New England Patriots. They were not at all happy about what happened to them their last time out against the Buffalo Bills.
Well, and when we tried talking about that to Coach Belichick, he said, listen, we got a lot of things we got to fix on our own here. We got embarrassed the last time we took the field against Buffalo, and it was more about correcting the things they did wrong from a week ago.
Whitehurst behind his intended receiver, Andrew Hawkins. Yeah, I thought when Bill Belichick said that we have to do a better job as coaches, I just thought that was him trying to take the heat for the players, but he was sincere about that.
You thought he was just giving coach speak? You thought that he was saying, yeah, no, he was very sincere. He told us, he's like, listen, it wasn't a good game plan. They got after us. Actually, he didn't say it wasn't a good game plan. I shouldn't put those words in his mouth. I don't know if he would ever say that, but it wasn't an executed game plan. And so he said, you know, based on the fact that we got our butts kicked in all three phases, it comes down to we didn't prepare them well enough.
Fair catch at the 27-yard line. Brady in the offense, back on the field. Actually, he said the punting team was really good.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by the all-new Honda Ridgeline for truck-tough things and everyday things.
The home of the Cleveland Indians. Took the first 2 games of their American League Division Series against the Boston Red Sox here, and looking to beat the Red Sox later today to advance to the ALCS. Real good start for Tom Brady and the New England offense. Long drives. DJ Foster trying to turn the corner and knocked out of bounds at about the 27 or 28-yard line.
Brady's day so far, the first touchdown pass to Martellus Bennett. Just a delay coming off the end of this, into the line of scrimmage. Then Hogan big up the field. Another drag route to Bennett underneath, one-on-one against the linebacker. Tom Brady working on all cylinders. 13 of 15, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns to get this thing going today.
All 3 of those first 3 scoring drives for New England took 8 plays and ended in touchdowns. This is Foster again. Foster, the rookie free agent out of Arizona State. It'll be 3rd down. Danny Shelton making the stop.
Well, and coming into today, this was one of the strengths of the Cleveland defense is what they were able to do on 3rd down. And so far, New England has converted all 4 of their 3rd down attempts. So breaking the trend of what Cleveland has been able to do defensively.
Coming up on 8 minutes to play in the first half. Brady on the move, now going to go deep down far sideline. Has a man open, and he's got him inside the 10 to the 5. Chris Hogan. It'll be 1st and goal. He beat Joe Hayden on the play.
And Hogan's just lined up to the outside. He's going to stem inside real quick and just beat him up the sideline. You see Brady looking to his left. He's trying to get Edelman on a quick out route down at the bottom of the screen, or the flag route on the slot. He comes back to the outside and he sees Hogan had beaten Hayden. Hayden looking into the backfield.
It looked like Hogan took a real bump on the head as he hit the turf, and he's walking off with medical personnel. 63-yard pickup on the play.
Spreading the ball around. 14 completions to 5 different receivers.
You know, I've asked you about it. Even a week and a half ago, we were talking about Brady's comeback, and I wondered if we'd see any rust. Why don't we see any rust?
You know, he just takes care of himself. You know, the thing that's getting overlooked here, he's 39 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, you normally have drop and play when you're 39, let alone taking a month off. So a couple things have been pretty amazing about this game so far today.
Foster in the backfield with Brady. 1st and goal from the 6. Brady gonna loft it, end zone, incomplete. Edelman well covered in the corner of the end zone by Hayden. It'll be 2nd and goal. Meanwhile, you know, there's a difference though between being rusty and looking like you haven't missed a beat.
Well, and the thing that's impressive have been the long passes. I mean, the underneath stuff, you think, okay, you can work on those. You can make, as you're preparing in the month off that he's had. But getting a receiver in stride like he just did with Hogan, that's a tiny deal, and that's hard to come by.
Foster up the middle to the goal line. And he'll be marked down at about the half-yard line. thought it was great when Brady told us that he's been throwing, and you said, yeah, but to who? Right. 3 tight ends. The give is to Blunt. No touchdown signal. I think LeGarrette Blunt gained about as much yardage as he could get without scoring a touchdown.
Well, and I think they go for it on 4th down, considering what Cleveland is facing from a quarterback standpoint with Kessler out. They haven't done a whole lot offensively. That one drive when Kessler was in the game.
I think Brady would, let's see. 4th and goal. Brady gives to Blunt, and he's not going to make it. Demario Davis, first one to hit him. Big defensive stop by the Cleveland Browns. It's still 23-7. As you look at the first 4 possessions for Cleveland during the timeout, Trent, I asked you, why wouldn't Brady sneak it? Because he's good at that, and you said.
Well, Danny Shelton in the middle of that defensive line. That is, talking to Josh McDaniel, he said Shelton is the anchor of that defense. He gets penetration in the backfield. It frees things up for Davis and Kirksey, the linebackers, to make plays. So they went back to the running play that Blunt scored on in the first drive, the run to the outside. Remember where he bounced it outside? They went back to that again, just Cleveland had prepared for it.
Whitehurst at quarterback. The give is to Crowell, and Crowell getting nothing worth talking about there. Hugh marked down at the 2. People affected by severe weather and other disasters need help now. To support those impacted by Hurricane Matthew, text Matthew to 90999. Each text is a $10 gift to American Red Cross Hurricane Relief.
Well, New England doing a good job stuffing the run right now. Isaiah Crowell, 7 carries for only 9 yards, and that's what's putting them behind the chains once you get to 2nd and 3rd down.
Whitehurst down the sideline. Pryor reaching for it. Penalty markers fly. Boy, you talked about that height advantage that Terrell Pryor had. Did you see him reach over Malcolm Butler?
Well, you have 6'4" against 5'11", and if you got one-on-one.
Spot foul, automatic 1st down.
Got one-on-one, you just try and throw a jump ball. That wasn't the best of jump balls, but Pryor trying to come back to the ball and Butler not getting his head around. That was an easy call for the officials.
That's what Bill Belichick described him as last night when we talked with him. He's a jump ball guy.
And that was when you're trying to make the transition, you know, he's trying to switch from quarterback to receiver. It's not an easy thing to do. Yes, Terrell Pryor is an incredible athlete, but being able to know the ins and outs of the position, getting in and out of cuts, doing the underneath routes. Yes, you can run go routes, post routes, drag routes, slant routes, but as far as getting in and out of cuts, that's still a work in progress.
They were running out of time and on the play clock, and so use a timeout here. Now they have remaining 2 here in the first half. New England has all 3 of theirs with 5:22 to play. Their screening saves lives, and the NFL and the American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about A Crucial Catch Day on October 25th and find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. You know, on Tuesday, Browns players visited Seidman Cancer Center here in Cleveland. Danny Shelton, Cody Parkey, several others spent time with patients currently receiving treatment for breast cancer and other forms of the disease. Whitehurst had to pull it down, escapes trouble, and throws it away. Trey Flowers, Jabal Sheard, putting pressure on the Cleveland quarterback.
He's trying to get the ball up the field, but you see the pressure he gets, able to escape that initial. Once you get outside that tackle box, as long as you get the ball past the chains, it's not going to be intentional grounding.
Second and 10. at the 23-yard line. Duke Johnson in the backfield, and Johnson gets the handoff. And not much there to the 25.
Great job by the guys up front for the New England Patriots, just not allowing anything for the Cleveland Browns. They come into this game as the #1 rushing offense in the National Football League, and so far today only 10 yards rushing. So it doesn't matter if it's Crowell, Pryor, whoever's back there, Duke Johnson, they're just not allowing the yards to happen.
149.3 a game is what the Browns have been averaging coming in on the ground. 3rd and 8. Whitehurst can't escape the tackle, and he's down at the 27-yard line. Jabal sheared once again, and that'll force the Cleveland punt.
Well, and that was one of the things that I talked to Matt Patricia about with Rob Ninkovich coming back. I said, how do you get him involved in the game? And he said, well, our guys are playing so well. Chris Long, Jabal Sheard. He said, even Trey Flowers, we're rotating all those guys in there. Ninkovich adds that veteran leadership, but they're really solid at the defensive end position.
Julian Edelman deep. Short kick on the run. Edelman with the fair catch at the 37-yard line. 3:48 to play in a first half that's been dominated by the Patriots and Tom Brady.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, beer with your team on it. And by Honda Civic Coupe. Be the one they didn't see coming.
Well, what has Tom Brady's return meant to the New England offense? In their first 4 games, they were averaging just over 210 yards a game passing. That was good for number 28 in the NFL. 248 passing yards so far today, and we still have 3:48 to play in the first half.
Three down. 58 to Mike. 319.
Brady, sideline, popped up in the air, incomplete. Intended for Malcolm Mitchell.
We talked in the opening about Tom Brady and how quickly he gets the ball out of his hands. Here's several examples of getting the ball out of his hands in under 2 seconds. Yes, some of them are screens to the outside. This one a delay screen going to the left, but you're not allowing that pass rush to get to you if you're able to get rid of the ball that quickly.
On 2nd and 10, Brady under pressure got rid of it. Edelman couldn't hold it. 3rd and 10.
Well, Greg, we just talked about the release time and how quickly he's great. That time he actually had to hitch a couple of times. Going through his progression, the pass rush was able to get near him, causing him to make a quicker throw and not secure the catch was the receiver, and that ball bounces up in the air, nearly intercepted on the bounce up.
Quarterback's nightmare, right?
Yes, ball bouncing up over the middle. Usually bad things happen.
3rd and 10. High snap, Brady saves it, throws to the far side, and the catch is made by Malcolm Mitchell, the rookie out of Georgia. But not enough for the first down.
Well, Jamar Taylor is coming off the edge here. You're going to see he's untouched. That's why Brady has to get rid of the ball so quickly.
Nice job with the footwork on the sideline by Malcolm Mitchell. So here's Ryan Allen to punt it away. Duke Johnson is deep. Low, little bounce, and Johnson at the 12. And back to the 20-yard line. Just under 3 minutes to play. There is Robert Kraft, chairman of the New England Patriots. That is not a bad run for an owner.
Since taking over in '94, you can see the ranks. It's doesn't get any more simple than that.
15 division titles, 7 in a row. And his team leads at 23-7, just under 3 minutes to play. This is Johnson, Duke Johnson. And his forward progress will be marked at the 19, so he'll lose a yard. And it'll be 2nd and 11. Talking to Tom Brady about his time off, and he did get a chance to say he got to see family.
Yeah, it was weird for him. He said, you know, in 17 years in the National Football League, you don't really have time to go do it, but he enjoyed, spending some time with his family and getting a chance to go back for a Michigan football game. But
Whitehurst over the middle finds his man, and that's Duke Johnson out of the backfield, but that is going to be about a 5-yard pickup, maybe a 6-yard pickup.
Well, just to finish that thought, Greg, he did say, though, that once he got back to practice, football is where he's supposed to be. Once he got back in the building, he said, you know, I enjoyed that time, but football is what I'm supposed to be doing.
30-second timeout.
So New England takes a timeout here. Uses their first here in the first half with 2:10 to play, and the Patriots with eyes on getting the ball back in some decent field position.
Yeah, they're counting on their defense to get them the ball back here on a 3rd and 5. Can't say enough how well Alan Branch and Malcolm Brown there in the middle of the defensive line really forcing Cleveland into a game that they don't want to do. If you go back to the one drive that they had success on, it was running the ball, setting things up, causing confusion with shifts and movements and personnel groups, play action passes. They haven't been able to get into that rhythm except for that one drive because the interior part of the line hasn't been open for running lanes.
Whitehurst looking to maintain possession here on 3rd and 5. Has time, throws to the sideline and overthrows his man. Intended for Barnage.
Well, that worked out about as well as you could ask for if you're the New England Patriots. You call the timeout with 2:10. Then with the incomplete pass, it now stops the clock. So the punt can happen, the 2-minute warning happens, and you still have 2 timeouts to try and get points before the half.
You know, I know the Browns are scrambling for their first win, but how are you going to do it when you're on your 4th quarterback already in the season?
Yeah, and it's only week 5, so it makes it a difficult task.
Edelman from the 26. Edelman spinning out of trouble and forward to about the 38-yard line. And with 1:51, Patriots and their fans are saying, welcome back, number 12. Well, with 1:51 to play here in the first half, the fact is if you have ever thrown a football, you might qualify to play quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. It has been a merry-go-round. Tell you more in a second. Pass out to the near side to Edelman, and Edelman out of bounds just across the 40-yard line. The Browns have run through today Cody Kessler out with an injury, Terrell Pryor, who came on, and then Charlie Whitehurst. This is White, and White with running room out to midfield. And that'll be a first down. Meanwhile, the Patriots and Browns. How about from week 3, 2001, you saw the difference, and then this season, 3 quarterbacks for New England, 5 for the Browns. Over the middle, that's complete. Danny Amendola for the first time today.
Well, New England's still sitting on 2 timeouts. They deferred the coin toss, so they get the ball coming out in the second half also.
This is White. And White inside the 40 to the 39. Clock continues to move. 1 minute to play in the first half. New England still with 2 timeouts remaining. Tom Brady has matched New England's single game high here in the first half. And he wants to add more, and he does. That pass to Gronkowski to the 32. Clock continues to move as we come up on half a minute to play in the first half.
Let's continue to use the middle of the field. As I said, still has the 2 timeouts.
On the blitz, Brady had to get rid of it in a hurry, and that'll stop the clock. Joe Hayden came in from the corner. Just a reminder, the Verizon halftime report right around the corner with JB and the guys back in New York. Scores and highlights and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network, all coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
Denver, 4 down.
Gronkowski here one-on-one. He's spreading them out wide. They move Edelman over to stack on top of him.
Brady throwing outside, incomplete, intended for Edelman, covered by Hayden. 17 on the clock. And on 4th and 3, here comes Gostowski.
As soon as he saw man-to-man coverage, he moved Gronkowski out. He wanted to widen him away because he knew Edelman he was going to send in motion. Edelman was just going to follow him, trying to do an in and out read, and Hayden not buying it.
This is a 50-yard attempt for Gostowski. And he missed it to the right.
Well, Cleveland's got to feel fortunate at this point in time. That's 10 points that New England has left on the field.
Let's go down to Jay Feely. Jay.
Well, Trent, Stephen Gostkowski, one of the best kickers in NFL history, struggled since the AFC Championship and that extra point miss. He's been missing the ball right. He continued to do that in warm-ups today. The wind was blowing to the right, but that's what he struggled, not following through and letting the ball drift on him. He did it again today.
All right, Jay, thank you. 12 seconds on the clock.
Yeah. Base, right.
And Whitehurst going to throw over the middle. That is complete to Duke Johnson out of the backfield. And the Browns hurry up to the line and call a timeout to stop the clock with 5 seconds. Gives a chance to remind you, Saturday, the SEC on CBS delivers a huge top 10 showdown when the #1 team in the nation, the Alabama Crimson Tide, visit the 9th-ranked, always entertaining Tennessee Volunteers. It all begins at 3 Eastern time with college football today. I've asked you this question a couple of times in the past few weeks. Are there any defensive coordinators in college football? The numbers are unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Every Saturday it seems like there's a bunch of games going down to the wire, and they're all in the 30s, 40s, and 50 points. Only enough time here for Cleveland to throw one down into the end zone.
Whitehurst will launch it to the end zone. Incomplete. Jonathan Jones, the rookie cornerback, looked to have it go right through his arms into the turf. But that's the first half in the books for Tom Brady and the Patriots. 23-7. Back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We're getting ready for the start of the second half here at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where the Patriots lead the Browns by a score of 23-7. Let's take a look at Who Are You Loving, presented by McDonald's. And boy, it's hard not to be loving Tom Brady so far today. This completion to Chris Hogan, setting up yet another touchdown as the Patriots have taken charge. Greg Gumbel along with Trent Green. What impressed you most in the first half about Brady?
Well, I think the thing that he came out and was in rhythm right away. The first 3 drives, they went down and scored 8-play drives, all long drives, and they ultimately ended in touchdowns. And so I just think the way that he was able to respond after being off for a month, coming out in rhythm right away.
How do the Cleveland Browns respond, especially with their problems at the quarterback position?
Well, I think that's going to be the hard thing. They're going to have to create some turnovers defensively. They need to get the ball back and give their offense some good field position.
One of the things that I think that Hue Jackson has to look at is how do you work around a quarterback as you take a look at the numbers from the first half?
Well, and that's going to be difficult because you don't have a lot of plays in for a Charlie Whitehurst, who's only been with the team for a few weeks, and Terrell Pryor only has a few snaps or a few small packets that they like to utilize him. And you can see with those stats how unbalanced everything is and how well New England is moving the football and the struggles that Cleveland has had. Other than that one drive that Kessler had, the second drive of the game where they went down and they scored, it's been a real struggle for them offensively.
And you know, I've been badgering you all week about, well, Brady's got to be feeling some rust, right? He's going to be rusty. He had his best first half since the 09 season against Tennessee. 18 of 25 for 271 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, I just like the fact that they've gotten him into a rhythm. It was, you know, a lot of quick control pass. Don't hang on to the ball real long. Once he got those first couple drives and was getting the ball out quickly and you get into a rhythm, then you all of a sudden saw the play action pass. You saw the deep throw we just showed. He had another deep throw to Hogan down the right sideline, just working him back into it.
And the Patriots get the ball first here in the second half. DJ Foster will not run this one out. They'll start at the 25. We go now to Jamie.
Greg, thanks. I just caught up with Bill Belichick coming out of the locker room. He told me he felt like Tom Brady made some good plays there in the first half, but he was frustrated with their lack of red zone production, especially towards the end of the first half. He feels like they need to be more consistent in that zone. As far as Hue Jackson, he's going to have to work some chess pieces now between Charlie Whitehurst and Terrell Pryor now that Cody Kessler is officially out of this game with that chest and rib injury.
All right, Jamie, thank you. So Brady and company from their own 25. James White is in the backfield and Brady to throw. Nobody there. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, when the one point you got to make as a head coach that you want some more red zone efficiency, and they're 3 for 4 in the red zone, 3 for 4 being touchdowns, not settling for field goals. The one time they didn't score when they're in the red zone is they had 1st and goal, had a couple of plays from the 1-yard line where Cleveland just stopped them. They went for it on 4th down, wasn't able to get it in the end zone. So that's Coach Belichick trying to find something to a very dominating first half, but had to find something.
Brady to this side. James White out of the backfield. White out of bounds at about the 33. And that'll leave about 2 yards for a first down.
Just coming out of the backfield, you see Brady with his eyes up the field, trying to push the ball upfield.
Brady needs 2 yards this side, and there's a penalty marker flies as Christian Kirksey covered James White.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 58. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that is Kirksey.
Kirksey they had out in space, as you mentioned, Greg, one-on-one with White. It appeared that he had batted the ball away, but it was holding before that bat away.
Is that an official NFL stat, bataways?
Passes defense. So LeGarrette Blount now back onto the field for
New England, and a quick pass out to the near side is complete to Malcolm Mitchell. Meanwhile, Rob Gronkowski, who's looking on from the sideline, here's what he's been doing so far today.
Well, coming into today, he only had 1 catch for 11 yards. So far today, 3 catches for 60 yards. They talked about how he's feeling better after that hamstring injury cost him the first 2 games of the season, and pretty much the last 2 weeks he's been more of a decoy and working on the run blocking, but putting up a nice number so far today.
And Gronkowski, as we mentioned earlier, feeling better every day. Brady pulls it down, looks, gonna lob it, incomplete. Edelman, closest Patriot to the football, covered closely by Ibrahim Campbell.
They wanted to throw, it was a fake quick screen to the right. Brady just taking 1 step, pump faking to his right, and then wanted to hit either Hogan or Edelman. Hogan was going down the right sideline, Edelman up the middle. The Browns just didn't bite on him.
.29 passes on offense for the Patriots compared to 16 snaps, resulted in a running game. Brady with time, throw. Gronkowski, and the penalty marker is down.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense number 58. Penalties decline. Result of the play, first down.
Christian Kirksey is the marked man on this drive.
Well, this is where defenses have such a hard time. You have 2 tight ends, both of them 6'6", one 265, the other 275, and they both can run. So how are you going to defend them when they're just playing box up, get to the first down, get that first down marker, and box you out, and that was the problem there.
James White finds running room on the near side and moves it to the 40. You know, as you watch White run this, the questions that people have regarding the quarterback position, they don't take into account, as we've talked about. This is White again for a first down. The snap decisions that a quarterback has to make. There's not much question that Brady was going to be in shape physically, but you have to get used to, or get used to again, making those decisions that a quarterback makes in the pocket.
And you're making them in fractions of a second as the defense is coming after you and trying to tackle you, as you're trying to read the safety's hips, the corner's hips, the linebacker rotations. Those things are all things that you can't really time out at home.
Brady, the 10, the 5, reaching for the end zone is Martellus Bennett. Touchdown.
Bennett and Gronkowski are just on the end of the line. They initially block. It's a hesitation release, delayed release. You can see they make that initial contact, so they think it's the hard run fake when they see Brady's action to the outside. Looks like he got the ball around that extended cone.
3rd touchdown catch of the day for Martellus Bennett.
So as he jumps, he never hits the ground until the ball crosses the plane inside of the pylon. Confirmed as a touchdown.
The kick is good. 12:24 to play in the 3rd. New England has jumped out now to a 30-7 lead. Well, let's just say Martellus Bennett's having a heck of a day.
Do you have him on your fantasy team? Is that what you're saying now?
I don't do fantasy.
I know you don't. I know you don't. Bennett's third touchdown on the day, 4 catches, 51 yards. You see there, first game in his career with 3 receiving touchdowns.
This one's going to come down inside the 5 to Tracy Howard. And heavy-duty collision knocked out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Well, Patriots tight end Martellus Bennett, also a proud author of his first children's book back in June. Hey, AJ, it's Saturday, hit the bookstands. Martellus hosted a pop-up shop in Boston where he read to children and signed autographs. The Hey, AJ series is based on Martellus' family and his daughter, Austin Jett.
5-2. Hey.
So Charlie Whitehurst at quarterback, Isaiah Crowell on the ground to about the 26-yard line.
Well, and really it's no different here for the Browns than what they started off the game. They want to try and control the clock. They want to try and get some execution with the running game going downhill. So far they haven't been able to do that. Only 107 total yards. Rushing yards only 13. So give credit to that defensive front 7 of the New England Patriots, just not allowing the running game to get going for Cleveland.
Not even close.
Lead.
2nd and 8. Whitehurst with time. And that's Terrell Pryor to about the 27-yard line. You know, starting position has not been great for the Cleveland Browns, and you and I took notice, Trent, that Bill Belichick, if he's very respectful of the opponent's kick return abilities, he'll put it in the end zone, but he has come up short of the goal line on several kickoffs today.
Yeah, we've talked to him about strategy, about the kickoff, and depending on the team he's facing, the returner he's facing, how he feels about field position will dictate whether or not he tries kicking out of the end zone or in fact trying to pin him down inside the 20.
Whitehurst over the middle, complete. Pryor out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down. And penalty markers down with a scuffle on the far side of the field. We had one noteworthy scuffle in the first half. Here's Bill Vinovich.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 24. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Number 24 has been ejected from the game.
Wow, Cyrus Jones, the rookie, has been ejected.
This is going to be Pryor on the pass route. He gets open and he gets the conversion. But watch right here, after the play, they come up, and this is where the block happens, and it's the retaliation that causes the penalty and ultimately gets Cyrus Jones kicked out of the game. Now watch that comes up right here as the play is going on. It's a block going on at it. Now watch the retaliation right there. That's what ultimately gets Jones the penalty and gets him kicked out of the game.
Jones is the second-round draft pick out of Alabama. And Bill Vinovich is now, I think, making sure that Cyrus Jones has left the field, and he is. A 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Hue Jackson to about the 43. Clearly, this little 2 and 3 yards a pop is not going to get it done for Cleveland.
No, it hasn't, and that's what was so big about the penalty and then ultimately the completion to Terrell Pryor that picked up the first down even without the penalty. So that play was much needed by the Browns offense.
Pryor to the near side of the field. Whitehurst over the middle, lost the football, and it's going to be ruled incomplete. Gary Barnage had it and lost it. So it'll be 3rd and 8.
Well, that would have been a first down had he been able to hang on to the ball, and he would have had enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now all of a sudden they're stuck back at a 3rd and 8. And really got to start thinking at this point in time, Greg, whether or not it's 4-down territory. You're across midfield. You're down 30-7. This all of a sudden becomes 4th and short. You would have to think you have to go for it.
Whitehurst throwing sideline, has his man, first down. Terrell Pryor.
Or better yet, Greg, get 5 seconds of protection and hit the comeback on the far sideline. So see Logan Ryan playing a trail technique because he knows he has help over the top with the safety, but with that in and out move, Pryor is able to get open.
Let's go.
Crowell can't find any running room. Let's go back and see, if we can, why Cyrus Jones was ejected.
One more time. After the play happens, you're going to see he comes up and makes a block, but Cyrus Jones, it's going to be the retaliation that ultimately leads to the penalty and the ejection of Cyrus Jones. You see the late block here, but it's when Jones decides to retaliate. We can't see exactly what that retaliation is. To be kicked out of the game and had to, I'm assuming, would have to be some kind of punch was thrown or maybe something with the knee as the receiver was on the ground.
Whitehurst under pressure and goes down. Malcolm Brown, who's had an impact on this game today from his defensive tackle position.
Yeah, Brown's been doing a great job in the middle of the line with the run game, but this time able to beat Greco in that left side A gap, getting up the field. Whitehurst with his eyes planted upfield, not feeling that pressure and taking a big loss.
Malcolm Brown with his first sack of the season now creates a 3rd and 21. Whitehurst over the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. His first pick of the season. Well, we talked earlier about the quarterback's nightmare of a ball popping up in the air. How about any tipped pass?
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Applebee's new USDA Choice wood-fired grilled steak.
Look at Edgewater Park out on Cleveland's lakefront. 30-7 New England. 8:06 to play here in the 3rd. And on first down, Brady to throw. Almost picked off, and a penalty flag in the backfield. And this looks like it'll be against New England.
Holding. Offense number 60. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
The center, David Andrews, guilty of the hold. Meanwhile, how about the reunification of the Belichick-Brady duo, which has done okay over the years, hasn't it?
You know, when you're preparing for this game, or when I'm preparing for this game, and you go through and you look at all of the records that Bill Belichick has, you look at all the records that Brady has, and you look at all the records they have together, it's pretty amazing over the course of Tom's 17-year career as the quarterback in New England, just all the records they've accumulated.
Pass to the near side, intended for Bennett. Broken up by Demario Davis.
That's 2 plays in a row that were nearly intercepted. The last one, they ran a zone blitz, dropped out underneath Gronkowski and tipped it up. That time DeMario Davis almost with the interception.
By the way, the word from downstairs is that Cyrus Jones was ejected for having thrown a couple of punches after his opponent was down. So he's gone for the day, 2nd and 20.
And he pretty much played for free today then, because he'll get that fine check.
That pass is complete to James White out of the backfield, and he's run out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and about, looks like it'll be 3rd and about 12.
Browns continuing to try and mix things up here with different pressure packages and coverage packages. Got a lot of young players playing as well, Greg. I mean, you look at this roster, 53 players, 30 of the 53 on today's roster are new to the team.
Line.
Brady stepping up and goes down at the 30-yard line. Second-year defensive end Jamie Meter just getting Brady by the ankle.
Well, Meter not giving up on the play as Brady stepped up and tried sliding to the right. As you said, Greg, Meter just getting a hold of his foot there and able to trip him up.
So Ryan Allen, the kicker here. Terrific kick. Hue Jackson all the way back to the 17-yard line. Up the sideline, across the 30, and down at about the 32. And now a late flag. We get a late penalty marker.
Well, Matthew Slater of New England was pretty animated about not having a flag thrown. The Pro Bowl special teams player for New England. Then all of a sudden we see that flag come in late, so maybe there was something going on there.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's right.
During the return, holding, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
So Charlie Whitehurst a little bit deeper in the hole when we come back. 6:44 to play in the 3rd. We welcome you back to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland with 6:44 to play in the 3rd, and the Cleveland Browns desperately in need of some kind of offensive spark.
9-1, 9-1. 5-2. Yeah. Even.
Whitehurst from his own 20. And let's check in with Jamie downstairs. Jamie.
Well, Greg, over the summer, Browns running back Isaiah Crowell faced some pretty significant backlash after an Instagram post regarding the slain Dallas police officers. He has since reestablished a positive relationship with that group, and he did what he pledged to do, which is donate his Week 1 game check to the Dallas police officers. Now, Hue Jackson told us he was immensely disappointed when that post did go up, but he was impressed by how Crowell has bounced back, and we're seeing now what his character truly is, and that's from Coach Jackson.
Yeah, Jamie, thank you. Yeah, Hue Jackson said he was very happy to see. Oh, that pass incomplete. Over the middle. Rob Ninkovich trying to convince the world that he had made an interception.
And we could even see it bounce from up here, so.
Well, it kicked up the dirt. Yeah. As John McEnroe would say, dust flew up, chalk flew up.
Well, the thing you have to remember with Whitehurst, he's just not getting many reps. I mean, he just got to the team a couple weeks ago. He's not really running this offense. He's running the scout team offense, and on the side, he's trying to learn as much as he can about this offense. So being on time, you know, the last interception that just happened when they crossed midfield, that was behind the receiver. Yes, the ball was tipped, but it was behind him. So all of a sudden, it's tipped up for the defense to get the interception. So some of the timing's just not there right now.
Whitehurst. And that's incomplete to the near side, intended for Ricardo Lewis, the rookie wide receiver, and Cleveland will kick it away. And, you know, if you're the Cleveland Browns, what do you do, Trent? You start scouring the waiver wire, and you're desperately in need of some help.
Well, at this point in time, you're this far into the season. You're on your 5th quarterback already. You can say Terrell Pryor going in and out there. That's a 4th quarterback. So there's not a lot you can do. You just hope we can get an update on Kessler and find out if he's gone for a significant amount of time or if he's a week-to-week thing. But yet, all of a sudden, think there's some miracle guy sitting out there on the street. That's not the case.
Julian Edelman dancing, trying to break free, not going to do it. Back at the 22-yard line. Forward progress going to be marked at about the 24. 5:42 to play in the 3rd. It's all Patriots, all Brady.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com.
Back in Cleveland with 5:42 to play in the 3rd, and the Patriots with the football and a 30-7 lead.
58.
LeGarrette Blount in the backfield behind Brady. And Blount with the handoff. For about 4. Did New England look pretty good at the tight end position?
Well, that's one of the things, talking to Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator for Cleveland, he said that the Patriots want to be an inside-out team. They like to utilize their tight ends. You got 2 6'6" tight ends that are big, athletic, can get up the field, and that's exactly what they've done today. The Patriots, Gronkowski with 4 catches, Martellus Bennett with 4 catches, and of course Bennett's 3 touchdowns receptions.
Blount for a yard to the 30. Meanwhile, their numbers today extremely impressive, and just as impressive as what this New England defense has been able to pull off against certainly a competent ground game in the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, it's been, you look at both teams, they came in as the number 2 rusher in Isaiah Crowell in the NFL and number 3 rusher in LeGarrette Blount, and right now Blount with only 34 yards rushing and Crowell still sitting at 9 yards rushing, so both teams are dialed in to the run game.
On 3rd and 5, Brady out of trouble, gonna run for it. Gets the first down as he dives out of bounds just across the 35-yard line.
You don't see a lot of this where he takes off and runs, and it's not always the prettiest. But he gets excited, gets his teammates going.
I think he learned that in his month off.
He said he watched a lot of football.
Yeah,
so.
he did. Little conversation back and forth with the Cleveland defense, too. Patriot fans with the Brady chant.
Yeah, 34. 19.
This is Blount. And Blount for a yard or so. Hey, see what everybody's laughing about. Kevin Can Wait is TV's #1 new comedy. Kevin James stars tomorrow after The Big Bang Theory, only CBS. See how dedicated to the ground game the Patriots remain. And the end around. This is Chris Hogan. And Hogan is cut down at about the 38-yard line. And he's not going to get up in a hurry. Joe Hayden making the hit.
He landed very awkwardly on his head and shoulder. Head, shoulder, back, all kinds of things. It was, the tackle went low, and
Wow, the neck, the head, the shoulder, all involved. They'll look at Chris Hogan. We'll take a break with 3:01 to play in the third. And just a reminder, Week 5 continues later today here on CBS, and for some of you on Fox, and then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. Good to see Chris Hogan jump to his feet and walk off the field. 114 yards receiving today. One of those quick injuries, Trent, that fortunately wasn't as serious as it looked.
Yeah, the way he landed was very awkward, and then the way his neck whipped around. So it's good to see him sitting up on the sidelines, able to get himself off the field.
Meanwhile, Brady looking at a 3rd and 6. Brady over the middle and knocked down. Intended for Martellus Bennett. Brian Body Calhoun broke it up.
Body Calhoun coming over the top. See Martellus Bennett. The best thing he did there was the off hand. Watch his left hand. He gets it away from the body at the last minute. Yes, he wraps it around Bennett to make that initial move, but by pulling it off the back, that's where the officials in the back of the defense, they're looking for that. Once he removed that hand, that's why the flag wasn't called.
This ball is going to be picked up at the 15-yard line and returned back to the 20 by Joe Hayden. Let's get an update from the guys in New York.
Steady Ben Roethlisberger. That's right, 5 touchdown passes last week, 3 touchdown passes this week. With this one, 5 yards, Antonio Brown, no pass rush from the Jets. Ben on the day, 25 of 37, 282 yards, 3 TDs. They take a 24-13 lead over the Jets in the 4th quarter.
Back to Greg Gumbel.
All right, JB, Boomer, thank you very much. That New York Jet experience not going quite the way Todd Bowles had hoped it would at the start of the year.
52!
Yeah, they've had some struggles coming out of the gate, some of it being with turnovers.
Isaiah Crowell, and not much there. Let's go down to Jamie.
Greg, Chris Hogan is being taken to the locker room right now. Part of that conversation on the bench did involve this gentleman in a blue hat that's trailing behind him. That, again, is that unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant. If this preliminary exam that was done on the bench shows any real concern about a concussion, that proves that he will go into the further examination back with that UNC, as they call them by the league.
All right, Jamie, thank you. We'll keep track of Chris Hogan. Meanwhile, 2nd and 10. Whitehurst. And he hits his man across the middle. That's Andrew Hawkins, who is now looking for all the world like the #1 receiver on this football team.
Well, it's quickly come to that point. He's going to work his way into the middle of the field. For our purposes, he'll be coming from the left. For Whitehurst, it's coming from his right. Finding that gap in the middle of the field. You saw the linebackers for New England coming up on the underneath coverage, leaving that window open for Whitehurst to get the ball in there.
Whitehurst from the 44, and that's complete. Inside the 30, inside the 25 is tight end Gary Barnidge for another first down. 31-yard pickup.
Get some excitement going here for the Cleveland fans. Just a double seam route. He had someone on the seam to his right. He had Barnidge going up the seam to his left. You see the attention was placed on Hawkins going up that right seam. Good accurate throw by Whitehurst.
Line of scrimmage in New England 25 and Whitehurst. That one's complete inside the 20, and Barnidge once again. Barnidge, a truly reliable tight end.
This is one thing Whitehurst can do. He's got a big, strong arm. That's why he's lasted in the league for 11 years.
Hey, 5-2. No, let's go.
Crowell. And Crowell diving inside the 15 to the 12. And with that, we come to the end of 3. 30-7 New England. We're coming back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Back for the start of the 4th quarter, along with our producer Jim Rickoff, our director Suzanne Smith, Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, Jamie Erdahl, Jay Feely at First Energy Stadium. And the Browns trying to get something going here.
Sold.
It actually moved into the red zone to the 12-yard line. Isaiah Crowell in the backfield. Whitehurst, throw, incomplete. Intended for Connor Hamlet. We have a penalty marker down.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
The center, John Greco.
Gets his arm right around the neck. Right around the neck of Roberts. There gets that left arm.
Trent, that hold takes away a Patrick Chung bat away.
And it bumps him back. Keeps moving Cleveland back. Think about the last time they were in the red zone. It was a penalty. It was a sack. Pushing them back out of the red zone. So.
Red zone trips have been very few and far between for Cleveland today. Crowell. To about the 17. Isaiah Crowell, 12 carries, 19 yards. And boy, is that ever a mission accomplished for the New England defense.
Well, he came into today averaging over 6 yards per carry. You can see he's barely over a yard per carry so far today as we look at Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator, and the job that New England's done stopping that run game.
Whitehurst gonna lob it for the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Connor Hamlet, first-year tight end out of Oregon State.
Touchdown, Brown!
Matched up against Jonathan Jones up that left seam. Whitehurst just puts enough air on it, understands the size matchup he has there. Hamlet bringing it in and keeping control of it to the ground. Much needed touchdown for the Browns.
Now the Browns have had some injuries at the tight end position. Seth DeVal, the backup to Gary Barnidge, out with a foot injury today. Randall Telfer out with an ankle injury, and the Browns going for 2. Well, you talk about a size advantage. Connor Hamlet, 6'7", 260 pounds. Whitehurst going to throw it near side and off the fingertips. Intended for Pryor and covered by Malcolm Butler. The Charlie Whitehurst with the touchdown pass to Connor Hamlet as the Browns try to show a little life here in the 4th. Connor Hamlet on the receiving end of a 17-yard touchdown pass by Charlie Whitehurst. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots guarding against the onside kick. And it goes deep. Devin McCourty from the 7 and slides down at the 15-yard line. Trent, you didn't think the Browns should have gone for 2.
No, I was a little confused by that because you kick the extra point, it's a 16-point game, which ultimately is a 2-possession game. By missing it, Now, if you make it, then it's still a 2-possession game. If you miss it, then now it's a 3-possession game. So a little confused as to why that point in time they decided to go for 2. Because by missing it, now it, as I said, now it's a 3-possession game, so it just makes it that much more difficult.
You're talking about an extra possession.
Yes,
necessary.
Yep. Especially now we're in, well into the 4th quarter here. It's all those are critical decisions.
Brady for Bennett. Definitely the shortest pass Tom Brady has thrown today.
Well, and Kindred, the safety, comes up and makes that tackle, and you all of a sudden you're rolling up on a guy that's 275, and you decide to go low. So heck of a job by Kindred bringing him down for a short game.
Martellus Bennett is a monster of a tight end. He's 10 pounds heavier than Gronkowski.
56 to Mike.
Pick up a 3, 2nd and 7. Near side, complete to Danny Amendola.
This says Amendola in the right slot. He has him one-on-one, sees the off coverage, easy pitch and catch. Making it to 3rd and short.
By the way, officially, the word is that Chris Hogan is being looked at for possible head injury. 3rd and 3. Brady with time, wide open over the middle and out to the 35 is Bennett, who is having one sweet afternoon catching the football.
Watch Edelman come across the middle of the field. It draws 2 defenders, which ultimately leaves Hope and Bennett right in the middle of the field. It's just the design of the play. You've got so many options, and Brady is dialed in. We talked at the beginning of this game. Yes, he's been throwing. Yes, he's been trying to get himself physically ready, but the mental part and the quick decisions you have to make back in the pocket, Tom has been all over today.
This is LeGarrette Blount, and he is smothered short of the 35-yard line. A reminder for you, tomorrow on CBS, TV's #1 comedy really shakes things up with some crazy big news. It's one new episode you can't miss. The Big Bang Theory, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. We've been raving about that day Martellus Bennett has been having. 6 catches, 67 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
56. Where's your butt up? 319.
Brady. Gronkowski inside the 30 for a first down. "37-yard pickup.
Gronkowski's just coming from the side here. He's just going to work his way up the slot. You just got through talking about the type of day that Bennett's having. If the tight ends don't take Brady out for dinner this week at some point in time, there's a real problem.
LeGarrette Blount, as penalty markers fly, has run out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
Between the 2 tight ends, 11 catches, 176 yards.
Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Gronkowski with the holding call against him. You know, wait, Brady is newly returned. Why do they have to take him out to dinner?
They have to take him out to dinner because look at the day they're having. That's, yeah, you definitely do. Heck of a day, Tom Brady coming back. Been very accurate up the field, underneath, getting the ball out of his hands quickly.
And I think you'll agree, it doesn't look like he's missed a beat. This is James White. And White to the 35.
Well, getting a chance to talk to Josh McDaniels yesterday about a healthy Rob Gronkowski and being partnered up with Martellus Bennett, who they acquired in a trade this offseason with Chicago. And this is what they wanted to do. When the trade was made to bring Bennett in, this is what they wanted to do from a game planning standpoint. He said this is the first time all season we're going to have Tom back and we're going to have the 2 tight ends healthy. What we're going to be able to utilize with both those guys in the middle of the field, it just creates matchup nightmares for defenses.
Saw Gronkowski over 100 yards, the 21st time in his career. He's had a 100-yard receiving game, his first since week 10 of last year. Look at the time Brady had. Penalty markers thrown behind him, and he takes off and runs out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Illegal use of hands. Hands in the face. Defense number 55. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Well, that penalty is on the nose tackle, Danny Shelton.
See right in the middle, right there, hand up in the face. Easy to call. If a defender gets a hand in the face and pulls it away quickly, they're not going to call it. If you leave it there, continue to push the offensive lineman back that way, then it's definitely coming in.
First down at the 20.
58! Alert! 318!
Flung. That'll lose yardage. Nice play by Cam Johnson. There is Chris Hogan, who made an appearance 2 plays ago, and he's coming back onto the field again. So he's been cleared of any serious head injuries.
Had to go through the concussion protocol back in the locker room.
4-8 Diamond!
Hey, you know. Brady on 2nd and 12. Looking. And threw it away. Let's get an update from JB and Boomer in New York.
Hoyer capitalizing on an opportunity.
He really is, JB. 27 of 35, 328 yards, 2 TDs. This one going to Jordan Howard, the rookie out of Indiana, playing back in Indianapolis, 21 yards. Bears 23, Colts 19. By the way, Andrew Luck sacked 5 times in this game.
Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, Jamie Erdahl, and Jay Feely.
All right, guys, thank you. Indianapolis Colts opting not to have a bye week after their game in London. And on the short end of the scoreboard against the Bears. Brady. That's complete to James White. And White, slipping away from tackles, ducks inside the 15 to about the 13. Trent, you've made that trip to London. Did you feel much like doing anything when you got back?
No, there's a couple of days adjustment. I know that. So trying to come back and play that quickly. Although they did fly back right after the game last week. So
yeah, so did we. How's your sleep pattern since you got back?
It took me some time to get adjusted.
Gostowski. Missed from 50, this one from 31. And that is good. 7:42 to play in the 4th. The Patriots stretch their lead to 20. It's 33-13.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by Febreze, eliminate odors you've gone nose blind to and breathe happy.
That statue of the great Jim Brown unveiled during Cleveland's home opener back in week 2 against the Baltimore Ravens. Once again, the kickoff short of the end zone. This is Tracy Howard. And brought down just across the 15 to 16-yard line. Boy, has it been a merry-go-round at the quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns. 26 different starters since 1999. And I guess it's quite possible Charlie Whitehurst could be added to that list
next week, depending on, we haven't heard.
That's Josh McCown watching from the sideline.
Word yet about Kessler and how severe his injury is.
McCown out with a shoulder injury. RG3 not due back for several more weeks with his shoulder injury. There's Robert Griffin III. Duke Johnson in the backfield, Whitehurst. Over the middle, tip, incomplete. Through the hands of Gary Barnage.
Well, Greg, and we had them week 1 against Philadelphia, and they were excited about what this offense had the capability of doing with Robert Griffin in there. And then he did get hurt that day, and McCown went in, and McCown got hurt the next week. So it's really be a tough challenge, you know. And Cody Kessler today was 5 of 8, 62 yards and a touchdown. So he was playing well when he had a chance. So it just continues to be tough for the Browns with all the quarterbacks rotating in and out because of injury.
Whitehurst goes short to Ricardo Lewis, and Lewis to about the 25-yard line. That'll leave him 2 yards shy of a first down.
Well, New England's content with that, letting him catch it underneath, making the tackle in bounds, keep the clock moving. Still 7 minutes to go in the game, but never too early if you're the Patriots up by 20 to try and keep that clock moving. You don't want to get yourself into a situation where the clock is continually stopping and extending this game here.
Whitehurst running out of time and now rolling and looking. Eludes one tackler, not going to get much further. Malcolm Brown has been in the middle of an awful lot on that New England defense today.
Whitehurst wanting to throw out to his left, looking through his progression as Branch gets upfield. This time Chris Long over there. Brown with pursuit.
So Danny Amendola is back at about his 25-yard line. Fair catch called for. And made at the 37. 6:02 to play. Cleveland searching for quarterbacks. You better hide, Trey. Well, all of the New England fans that are still here at First Energy Stadium standing and applauding and chanting Tom Brady's name. He's been replaced by Jimmy Garoppolo with 6:02 to play here in the fourth. Well, Garrett Blunt out to about the 40-yard line. And this is Jimmy Garoppolo. Sprained an AC joint in his right shoulder back in week 2. After he had a terrific start to the season.
Impressive numbers those first 2 games. It really was. You see the touchdowns, no interceptions, completion percentage over 70%. Unfortunately for him, had the shoulder injury against Miami.
Blunt again. And he comes up short. Tom Brady.
First charge timeout.
Can't say enough good things about what he was able to do today after a month off. Jay Feely talked at the opening about some of the things that he did from a training standpoint to keep himself sharp and ready to go. But as I explained throughout the game, it's one thing to do drills and footwork drills and throwing and that kind of thing. It's another thing to be in the pocket. You have defensive guys rushing at you. You have defensive linemen and linemen all around your feet. You have bodies flashing in front of you, yet you're able to make those quick decisions down the field. And we saw all of those things happen very smoothly for Tom Brady. Didn't see any hesitation on his part in terms of working through those progressions. It was just impressive from start to finish for him.
You know, we were talking with him last night. Apparently, playing golf with Jay Feely is a unique experience.
Rose, me.
And then talking with Jay this morning, the feeling is mutual.
Jay had more stories. He had him on the opposite side of the game.
Garoppolo under pressure and incomplete. Jay, what's the story about the golf game?
You know, you learn and grow, you mature. You go from a college guy, you may be a little loose with the rules, but now I can beat him straight up, so I don't need to do that.
So you're saying he had the upper hand in college, and now it's safe to say that you have the upper hand in the golf game?
Absolutely.
Would he agree with that, or
he never would admit that?
Jordan Poyer is deep. This wobbler is going to bounce and take a New England roll down inside the 15 to the 13. Maybe Tom and Jay will tee it up. 5:06 to play in the fourth.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Try the new thick-cut autumn carved turkey sandwich. And by Voya Financial, changing the way you think of retirement.
.506 to play here in the fourth. This is when Tom Brady left the field. Greeted first by head coach Bill Belichick, replaced by Jimmy Garoppolo. Not a bad return for Tom. Whitehurst. Up the seam. And across the 30-yard line, complete to Gary Barnidge for a first down.
that's one thing Whitehurst has. As I mentioned, he has a big arm. He can push the ball up the field.
9-1. Lawn. Hurry. To go.
Whitehurst to the sideline, and that is complete to Terrell Pryor. And he's about 2 yards, maybe a yard or so shy of a first down.
Just trying to get into any kind of rhythm. The Browns have had trouble with that all day. Once Kessler went out of the game with the injury after the second drive or into that third drive, getting any kind of continuity, and that's understandable when you have Charlie Whitehurst, who's only been with the team for a few weeks, really hasn't gotten much work with this first offense.
Crowell. And the Patriots have done something today that no one's been able to do so far this season, and that's put the clamps on Isaiah Crowell. 13 carries for 22 yards.
Yeah, with all the changes at quarterback, is impressive. He came in averaging over 6 yards per carry, but New England has put that down.
Whitehurst trying to escape the pressure. On the move, throws it away. And Whitehurst slow to get up. And from the sideline, Hue Jackson must be saying, "You're kidding, right?"
Yeah, this is a sick joke if another quarterback is going down.
Ooh, looks like he might have hyperextended it. So Whitehurst limps off. That means Trent, the quarterback duties now fall to number 11, Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, I don't even know where they would go at this point in time. So as we talked to Terrell Pryor this week, he said, yeah, there is a set package for me to run, but he's a wide receiver now. That's what he is. He's converted over to the position. He's put everything time and energy-wise into playing wide receiver.
This game is pretty much a foregone conclusion, but what happens next week?
What are you doing moving forward? Yeah, exactly.
Pryor throws, incomplete to midfield, and a penalty marker flies.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 77. Penalties decline. Result of the play, 3rd down.
Meanwhile, Charlie Whitehurst limps off. Thursday, your weekend begins here. The Denver Broncos battle the San Diego Chargers. Thursday night football on CBS and NFL Network. Terrell Pryor came into this game having completed 3 out of 5 for 35 yards passing. Now on 3rd down. Under pressure. Pryor spins away on the move and run out of bounds just across midfield. That'll be about 5 yards short of a 1st down.
Well, and they're trying to set up the screen. So as he was able to spin out to his left, I was hoping, I'm like, don't throw the ball down the field because you're going to have the same thing. You're going to have illegal men downfield because all the linemen were downfield over on the other side where the screen was set up to go.
Meanwhile, Charlie Whitehurst.
We mentioned all the changes at the quarterback position. They're on their 3rd center also. John Greco, normally their starting guard, has been forced to play center. Started at center today.
New England uses a timeout.
30-second timeout.
With 3:42 to play here in the 4th quarter. And the Browns looking at a 4th and 3. Well, the much anticipated return of Tom Brady worked out pretty good for the Patriots, didn't it?
It's amazing to think that what he was able to do after missing a month. We talked about so many things throughout the entire day. Just his accuracy up the field, getting rid of the ball quickly. You see him being congratulated by his teammates. They're obviously glad to have him back, but to come in and be in the rhythm that he was in, his footwork, his accuracy, the throws down the field, the underneath, getting the protections in the right order, just all those things were dialed in from the first series. The first 3 series of the game, touchdown drives, 8-play drives, long distance drives, and that just continued throughout the entire day.
406 yards and 3 touchdowns for Brady. 4th and 3. Let's see what they have in mind for Terrell Pryor. Gonna go deep. And incomplete. Ricardo Lewis, the intended receiver. Jonathan Jones covering. And the ball will go over on downs.
Well, and the Browns are looking for a pass interference. You'll see down the middle of the field, trying to turn back and get the ball. Actually not sure why that's not called. Other than, unless they ruled it was uncatchable, but it looked like if he could have gone back and got the ball. But now Garoppolo back in as the Patriots take over.
Well, there were a lot of problems facing Hue Jackson coming in here, but they're troubled if you can't keep a quarterback healthy. Garoppolo at quarterback. This is DJ Foster, and Foster just crosses midfield and into Cleveland territory. Be the first to know your team's news with the CBS Sports app. Get instant updates, expert analysis, highlights, and more. Download the CBS Sports app today. So Hue Jackson calls timeout, 3:28 to play.
Well, and he's dealing with injuries across the board. When you think about it, you know, now the 5th quarterback, but even, you know, a couple of offensive linemen down. Their top pick in Corey Coleman, wide receiver, he was down. It's they've got injuries, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that they're having to contend with.
Four down. Hey, wait, hey, 3 down. 4 down. 4 down. 56 is Mike. 58 on the right. Hey. Green 18! Green set!
Going to give it to Foster. And Foster will be brought up short of the 45.
3rd and final timeout.
And Cleveland uses its last timeout. Meanwhile, Cleveland's quarterbacks start with Cody Kessler.
Taking a hit on that right shoulder. Pryor came in for a little bit, did some misdirection. Whitehurst appears to hyperextend that left knee.
Back up and throwing again.
But as I mentioned, Kessler started off. They had that 3-and-out on their first series when they were trying to establish the run. But then Kessler got him in. That second drive, they had a long, sustained drive, moved down the field, got the touchdown pass. Kessler was 5 of 8, 62 yards and a touchdown. And then that third series we saw right there, landing on that right shoulder.
Green 18. Green shot.
On 3rd and 3 on the end around, this is Matthew Slater, and Slater looking for the first down and has it at the 40. So that will keep the clock moving, and Cleveland is out of timeouts.
And you'd think that New England would keep it on the ground as much as possible. If they do get into a pass, I think it'd be a quick throw, something you want Garoppolo to get the ball out of his hands quickly, a nice safe throw. He's still returning from his own shoulder injury, Greg.
Yeah, we saw that week 2, and it's nice to see him back and healthy.
Green 18. Green shot.
Boston for a yard. Those of you just joining us here in Cleveland, New England with this one well in hand at 33-13, and Tom Brady's return has been triumphant, to say the least. 3 touchdown passes to tight end Martellus Bennett. He logs his 8th career 400-yard passing game. And didn't really look too lost out there on the field, did he?
No, he was dialed in from the first snap on, and was very sharp all the way through.
2 minutes to play. Tom Brady, his work done for the day. And he'll begin to concentrate on Cincinnati next week. Trench keys to the game from earlier in the day. How'd you do?
Did all right. Yeah, New England stopped the run, you know. Cleveland coming in, #1 rush offense in the NFL, only with 28 yards. So I'd say they got that and eliminate the miscues. Last week against Buffalo, they had all kinds of mistakes. They eliminated that today. Cleveland, they get a check for red zone efficiency. They just didn't get it down there enough. They were 2 for 2 in the red zone, converting for touchdowns. Time of possession, Cleveland did not win. 10 minutes less time of possession than New England today.
And the New England fans here cheering Tom Brady. And Garoppolo with another knee. Coming up next, A.J. Green and those Cincinnati Bengals look to slow down rookie Dak Prescott and the 3-1 Dallas Cowboys. Rivals clash when the Chargers visit the Raiders, or the suddenly hot Bills and Rams square off. All coming up next here on CBS. 1 minute to play.
We showed Chris Hogan over there on the sideline with Brady, shaking his hand. He was fired up to have him back. Hogan with 4 catches, 114 yards today.
Good reason to get fired up. This one floats out of bounds, close to the 20-yard line.
I already told you, Greg, the tight end should be taking him out to dinner. Between Gronk and Bennett, 11 catches, 176 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Meanwhile, Bill Belichick, another win, 227. That now makes him 4th most all time, as he moves past the legendary Curly Lambeau. Congratulations to Coach Belichick. And this will be the last snap of the day. And the Cleveland Browns have to figure out where they are going to find themselves a win. They fall to 0-5. They travel to Tennessee next week and to Cincinnati the week after. But this day belongs to that man, Tom Brady. 400+ yards and 3 touchdown passes.
They've got a tough stretch of games as well. Greg, got Cincinnati coming up and at Pittsburgh before they get that rematch at Buffalo.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, won't it? At Buffalo, after Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, our game is done. 33-13 New England coming up. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Most of you will see Cincinnati at Dallas. For Trent and Jamie and Jay, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Cleveland. Thanks for joining us, everyone. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. We'll send you to the NFL Today update right after this.